Hello and welcome to another Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
I'm Fritz.
And we are here to give you our comic book reading recommendations for this week. Every Wednesday we get new books up on our wall, and we like to give you a heads up on what we really like. So
just in case you decide to tune in this time the first time.
Right, yeah. Well, I assume that we get, double our viewership weekly, would be my assumption. The numbers don't.
Every episode is someone's first.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, but no. So my pick this week is The Forge issue 1 from Image. It's their new kind of like adventure-y sci-fi like series they're doing from Greg Rucka. If you've been reading comics for like any point in the last 20 years, you're probably pretty familiar with his name. Doing all kinds of stuff both at Marvel, DC, creative owned. But here we've got, it's not like exactly like 40k, like Warhammer 40k, like it's not quite as grimdark in that, but like you've got the Empire, the Eternal Empress, they're expanding out into the galaxy. She's got her Forge, which are her like genetically engineered like super like Amazonian warriors, and they've got these like neat little mech suits. They go
super space marines.
Yeah, like they go, they squash the bad guys. In this case, literally some alien bugs. But as the issue goes, we find out there's like some other stuff going on. There's maybe some like shenanigans going on with these like witches that work for the Empress that like maybe aren't all on the up and up. It's going to be very, the way this issue ends, things go south very quickly for everyone involved. It's going to be very interesting to see like how it pans out for them at the end. But it's a lot of fun. There's actually at the end like some cool in-universe text from like a professor that lives in this universe, and like some like documents about like how their military. It's like just kind of if like with like Watchmen, how there's like the newspaper clippings and stuff like that at the end. It's kind of similar to that. Also, there's cats. So
interesting.
Yes.
Full disclosure, I'm maybe a quarter of a way through this one because it is on the dense side.
Yes, there's a lot going on.
But the art is fantastic. Yeah, and Rucka is, no holds barred on this one from the get-go. You can tell he's going for edgy right off the bat.
There's violence, there's horniness, there's potentially violent horniness.
Yeah. And then it's also got, this is going to sound weird, but it kind of had a vibe aesthetically that reminded me of Riddick.
A little bit, yeah. I can see that.
The movie that doesn't make sense with the other movies, but tried to build that whole world.
It like not quite as like gothic as that.
Yeah,
you've got like a lot of the military personnel. They've got what look like these like 18th, 19th century uniforms on, but they've also got like lightsabers and stuff.
Yeah, it's really kind of a cool aesthetic. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be finishing this one up. I liked it as far as, well, some of it made me a little uncomfortable, but I think that's what he was going for.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic. Well, I went with, probably no surprise to anyone who's talked to me about how much I liked Christopher Cantwell's Iron Man run, Hellcat #1. So Christopher Cantwell, while writing Iron Man, brought in Hellcat as a character in that story arc. And now she and Tony, their stories have separated, and she's going her own way. And this takes off right where the Iron Man Annual, that was Iron Man Annual in name only because it was basically just a Patsy Walker story in it. This takes off right from there. So she's investigating a murder that it kind of looks like she was involved in, and we're just getting going. The writing and the art match fantastically on this book. I mean, it all clicks together really well. And we were having to delve into Patsy Walker's history a little bit.
Her very weird and confusing history.
Yeah, because she starts as a character in the 40s, and
just like your average like teen like soapy romance.
Yeah. It was very much kind of like a Betty and Veronica kind of book, Patsy and Hetty, that Timely Comics was doing, and then in the 70s. Steve Englehart decides, hey, I've read all those books when I was younger, and it'd be fun to bring her back in.
And in true Englehart fashion, makes it real weird real quick. I can't do words today.
Yeah, So she's got this long storied background, and her mom sold her soul to the devil. Not her own soul. Her mom sold Patsy's soul to the devil, is my understanding, in order to be able to have success and I don't know, a better life for Patsy or something like that. I don't know. So, then she gets intertwined with all this other stuff. And so now, yes, there seems to be, this book is tapping back into kind of that type of stuff. There's some demons going around, and Sleepwalker makes an appearance in this one, and apparently is going to be a big part of this story. So, yeah, it's really interesting. But again, the art is gorgeous. The writing is really sharp. I like it when they can tell you a lot without having to say a lot. And Cantwell seems to do that really, really well. So, well, we're short a person today, so we decided to do a consensus pick, and it's
Superman Lost issue 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the start of the new maxi series from Christopher Priest, probably best known for a lot of his Black Panther stuff back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yep.
He's been on the roll at DC the last couple years. Big runs on Deathstroke. He's got his Black Adam series that's out right now.
Mm-hmm.
But this is him taking a crack at the big boy here, Superman. What happens? We've got him going off on a mission that everyone thinks he seems to have disappeared on, but it turns out, well, he did, but he was also somehow gone for 20 years. So,
but then reappears just a little while later in his living room.
Yeah, Batman literally goes to tell Lois, hey, so your husband's gone, but then he's there, just well, that's not right.
Yeah, it was really, and I think, as I was reading it, I was like, wow, this is so weird. I feel weird just because Superman's just kind of standing there staring off into space.
You can tell he's been through some stuff.
Yeah. And now I'm curious as to what that stuff was. Mm-hmm. And they've teased kind of a new look for him in this series. So we'll see. Yeah,
see our wonderful variant up here. Many wonderful variants today.
Yeah, kind of an all white suit with the red cape, which looks really interesting.
Kind of reminds me of that suit he wore for a bit at the end of All Star back in the day.
Yep. So I'm very curious to see what happens. A lot of the teaser images are well, wait a minute, how's that? So. But this was a really good start. I thought as I was reading the Justice League portion of it, where that leads up to the whole Bruce showing up to tell Lois that they've lost Superman, and Superman standing there. The Justice League arc that was leading up to it felt very classic Justice League.
It makes me sad that, because Priest did get a chance to write Justice League for a little bit a couple years back, and it makes me sad that he didn't get to do it longer, because there's all kinds of nice little bits Green Lantern's oh, I'm a pilot. I understand I got to be kind of gentle with these jets because they're designed for speed and maneuverability. They're kind of easy
fragile.
to there's neat little stuff like that.
Yeah, and just the way that the team was interacting and who knew what and all that kind of stuff. It worked really well, and he did a good job of making them feel like they work together a lot. They had that chemistry.
He's also very good at making Batman kind of be a prick, but in a very human way. It's not that oh, you kind of hate when Batman's there. It's just he's being kind of rude, but it's also just you can tell he's not always great with people kind of way.
Yep. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm very curious to see where it goes. And DC's just, I think, managing Superman a lot better post.
Superman's firing on all cylinders recently.
Yeah, I love the Tomasi Gleason run. It's one of my favorites of all time, but that was kind of a bright point in what I thought was kind of a weird era for Superman. I wouldn't quite call it bad,
between this, his new ongoing action, didn't get brought up last week, but the new Adventures of Superman with his son John, that's also off to a good start.
Yeah.
Bringing, especially if you're fans of the old Earth 2 stuff from a decade ago now.
Yeah. Turns out if you embrace a character, you can do some fun, interesting things with telling new stories with them at the same time. So, well, speaking of fun, new, interesting stories, we will be back next week with more picks. So be sure to like and subscribe, and then follow us on social media. Check out our website, and hey, stop into the store.
Yeah.
So all those links are available for you to check out down at the bottom, and we'll be back next week with more picks, because there will be more comic books that we will definitely
always more comics.
Yeah.
Never no comics.
All right, everybody, be well. That was very synchronized. All right.
We've been doing this so long, we're starting to like mind meld.
Oh God, you poor guy.
Oh no! Why do you think I keep like snotting up today?
Oh God, yeah.
I'm trying to flush it out.
Yeah. Expel it. Yeah.